Are you tired of manually testing the app that your AI just built? Opening the browser, seeing what forms are there, filling out the forms manually, and then submitting it, and then clicking all the buttons, and seeing all the magical combination of ways that a user might navigate your application and use your application, and only to find out that some of these features don't work, and now you gotta take screenshots and then let the AI know what's not working, type it up, be like, oh yeah, this form, when it submits, it goes to the wrong place, blah, blah, blah. Are you tired of that? Me too. I'm tired of it too. So I know the solution, how you can automate it with Playwright CLI. And yes, you may have heard of Playwright before, but basically it allows you to test your front-end applications by opening up a browser. It automates the opening of a browser and navigating to the web page and filling out the forms and doing all these types of things a user might do on your app, but now we can have AI do it. And then instead of I do it, it'll be AI do it. So let's take a look at it. So here's my application right now. Here's my application right now. It's a tech blog website. Just FYI, you don't even really have to do this, but I just want to show you some stuff that doesn't work. Here, the dark mode, light mode. Yeah, no mode, doesn't work. What about the tags? Yeah, ain't no tags, doesn't work. Search, let's do search. Let's search for a TypeScript related blog. Oh, cool, found a TypeScript related blog, amazing, amazing. I click it, not so amazing anymore, right? And what other things don't work in this app? Lord knows, who knows? I don't know. And I don't feel like spending hours trying to navigate through every single possible way to navigate this app to figure out what doesn't work and then taking screenshots and letting AI know back and forth. Screw that. That is over. I'm done with that. I don't got time for that. So I will show you how to fix that. Microsoft has created something called Playwright CLI. There's a GitHub repo, so go to github.com, Microsoft/Playwright CLI, and then here you can actually get your agent to use this. So I'll actually tell my agent, in this case, I'm using Kiro, the agentic IDE of my preferred agentic IDE, and I'll go here and I'll tell it, well, first, before I go there, right, you'll need to install this. So I'll just copy this. You copy that into your terminal window in your favorite IDE. So in my case, that's going to be Kiro. And let's say I open up a terminal, new terminal. I paste that in, and it'll install Playwright CLI. Next, I will ask in the chat window, use Playwright CLI as reference in this GitHub repo, and I'll actually tell it about this GitHub repo. By the way, this you can actually import this as an agent skill. Right here, there's a skills Playwright CLI, and I'll just click on the skill.md file, copy the URL to the skill.md file, and go to Kiro, and I'll just go here in the ghost icon. In agent steering and skills, I'll click the plus icon, global agent skills, import skill from GitHub, and then I'll paste the URL. And then, basically, I already have that skill, so it's going to overwrite it. So now I can tell it, as referenced in this GitHub repo, I'll go here, copy this Playwright CLI GitHub repo link, go back to Kiro, and I can actually tell it to use the skills. So I can say, since I imported the skill, it's called what? Playwright CLI. So use Playwright CLI skill to confirm all the requirements of my work and fix what doesn't work, right? So I can ask it to do this. And what requirements do I have? Well, I'm using Kiro, so I use something called spec-driven development. Yeah, that's a way that you can actually ask your AI agent to not just prompt and then generate code, but you prompt it and it generates a plan. And then from the plan, it generates, the plan is part of requirements, design, and then the task that it breaks down. So that's spec-driven development. There's a video on that's on my YouTube channel as well. You can take a look at that over here. Anyways, so I'll press enter, and let's see what happens. Let's take a look at what happens. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, I'll say, and do it in headed mode. I'll ask it to do it in headed mode so that I can actually see the browser being opened up and it doing things, almost like a ghost. It's like ghost ride the whip, when you get out the car and you let the car still drive itself and you start dancing. But in this case, it's ghost ride your app. All right, anyways, boom, boom, boom. I can be a funny guy. I can be a funny guy sometimes, okay? It's okay. I'm not shy from it. Anyways, it's gonna run npm run dev here. It's gonna run my app. Perfect. Okay, port 3000 in use, so it's going to use port, okay, yeah. It's gonna open port 3001, and let's see what happens now. It should open up some browser for us at some point. Good, the homepage is loading, okay. I'll ask it to do this in headed way. I usually don't do the headed browser, but I'm gonna just tell it to use it for the purposes of this demo so that you guys can see what's going on. So yeah, look, it opened up the browser for me. Matter of fact, let me go here. So yeah, let's take a look. It's seeing that the page is good. Okay, the home page opens up. It's navigating to the editor where you can create a new blog post. Takes a snapshot to make sure all the stuff that's supposed to be in that page is there based on the requirements from my spec. It tries to submit the form with nothing in there to make sure that the validation works for the form. Yep, validation works for the form. You better fill that information out if the form is supposed to be submitted. That's basically what my validations are doing. Cool. And now it's going to see that it's what happens if it fills out the form properly. So it's going to submit the title, right? And it's basically going to be doing all this stuff using these commands like npx, no install, playwright, CLI, fill, blah, 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 right? So it's doing these different little CLI commands with playwright CLI. And yeah, let's see what it's doing now. Dark mode testing. So it's testing out the dark mode. So the backticks in the markdown are causing issues with the shell. Let me use a different approach. So yeah, it's finding some issues. My app, good, title is filled, body filled, timeout due to backticks. Let me write a script to fill in the body content. So it's gonna fill in body content here with some markdown for a fake blog. Awesome. It's going to create a tag called React, and it should automatically submit the form. I'm not doing anything, right? I am just watching it and just talking about what's going on now at this point. Should I be worried? Should I be worried about that? I don't know. I don't think so, because I don't like to worry. That's the only reason why. Anyways, cool. It's adding some tags, and it's gonna do the click to submit the form. Perfect, yeah, looks like it works. Looks like publishing a post works. Now it's gonna see the other features and requirements. It's just gonna continue doing that, like it tested out each requirement. Oh, the requirement 1 works, requirement 3 works, requirement 9 works, and so on. And now, let me test the requirement 3.4, 404 for non-existent post. So it's gonna see if it tries to search for a post that does not exist, it should say post not found. Perfect, blah, blah, blah. It's gonna continue doing this, and it's just gonna run through my whole app right now. So yeah, I'll save you the rest of the video. If you wanna try it out, you can do that just like I did. Showed you how I set it up and how I ran through stuff. So have fun, and yeah, don't work too hard. Peace.